Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking out the trash. As you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be doing a book unhaul today. I, at the beginning of the year, said that I was going to be a little bit more conscientious about my book buying habits, so I did my last haul of 2019. So I thought it only appropriate to follow that up with some books that I'm trying to get rid of because I've either read them and haven't enjoyed them or just don't want them on my shelves anymore because I'm never going to read them. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I am getting rid of. The first book that I'm getting rid of is a book that I've read actually pretty recently, and it is Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. If you guys saw my January wrap up, you know how I felt about this book. For me, it was kind of a 3-star read. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't good. It was one of those contemporaries where I feel like I didn't connect with the plot or the characters very much, so for me, it was just kind of an average read. Definitely wasn't bad, definitely was not the worst contemporary that I've read, but there's definitely going to be better YA contemporaries out there for me, and as pretty as this book is, I don't need it to clutter up my shelf. Yeah, this is going. The next book has been sitting on my shelf for way too fucking long, and it is Almost Adulting by Arden Rose. I don't know if you guys watch her here on YouTube, but I feel like I've been watching Arden since I was in like middle school. She's been around for a really long time, and really like her. I really like her content. She posts a lot of sex positive content, a lot of like cool sustainability, fashion-y type videos. I'll actually put a link to her in the description below if you don't know who I'm talking about, although I'm sure you do. I picked this up to support her, and I was just kind of interested in what she would put into this book because I wanted to hear more insights into her life. Got about halfway into this, and a lot of the things that are in here are things that I feel like are pretty common sense or things that are on her YouTube channel for free. I didn't feel like I needed to keep this on my shelf. I think this might be a good book if you are maybe in high school and you're curious about what adult life is like, because adults obviously don't have all of their shit together, and I think this does a pretty good job at showing that, but at the same time I'm not sure how applicable this is going to be to people who are not YouTubers and like people that are not traditionally employed. It was okay, the parts that I read of it, but like I'm getting rid of it. And the next book I'm getting rid of is Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I got this for the read along that I'm doing with Dylan from Dylan the Reader and Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. I did not need to buy this. I don't know why I did. I don't like paperbacks. I knew I wasn't going to keep it after I read it, but it was kind of hard, I think, to find a cheap Kindle edition or like a hardcover of this. I'm glad I didn't get it in hardcover. I'm glad I didn't spend very much money on this because I didn't really enjoy this book. I think I gave it like a 3-star. It was okay. It just is definitely not something I'm going to reread. It's just like chick lit-y, not much happens contemporary. I don't need this in my life anymore. The next book's sort of a weird one, and it is Seduction Strangers by Josh Weltman. This is a book that was highly recommended to me from like marketers. I have a marketing degree, so people were like, oh, read this. It's like gonna change your life. I feel like most people that recommend business books say that shit, and then none of them actually change your goddamn life. I didn't actually end up reading this. I ended up not reading any of the business books that I ended up buying on Book Outlet because I'm being more realistic with myself going forward. I don't really do nonfiction. I'm not gonna buy it anymore. All right, I'm ready to cause some motherfucking controversy because I'm getting rid of Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. Here's the thing. I think that I read Vicious at a great time. I gave it 4 stars when I read it because for some reason I didn't want an emotional read, and that was perfect for Vicious because V.E. Schwab's character is really flat to me and I don't connect with them emotionally. So I was like, cool, perfect time to read it. I'm not emotional. The book didn't make me emotional. If I had read it at a different time, I think I probably would have given it a 3-star. It's just very average to me. Like, her worlds are so interesting. The ideas, the concepts, love them. But when it comes down to the actual execution, I'm just never impressed with her characters. And if I can't sympathize with the characters, I don't end up liking the books. I read Vicious. I have not read Vengeful. Part of me feels stupid for having bought this full price at Barnes & Noble. I say part of me, a huge fucking part. My whole entire body feels stupid for having bought Vengeful before I even had read Vicious, but you know what? You live and you learn. I had been on the fence because Vengeful looks so good on my black hardback with red text shelf, but you know what? I don't fucking need to keep this, so I'm getting rid of both of these. The next book I'm getting rid of is Milk and Honey by Ruby Kaur. This was a book that was given to me by a friend who I adore dearly. She is really into modern poetry, more power to her. I'm just not usually a big modern poetry person, as I'm coming to find out. This was just okay for me. Definitely maybe one of the better modern poetry collections that I've read. I just like am not really into modern poetry. I have this in a video called Popular Books I Hate, and I actually don't hate this as much as I had talked about, but I'm just, like I said, not really a modern poetry person, so goodbye. The next book I'm getting rid of is Dean Koontz by Ashley Bell. This is one of those books where, you know, the like circular sales displays at Barnes & Noble, they really win because it's like $5.99 hardbacks or like $3 hardbacks. They caught me hook, line, and sinker. I swear to God, like 4 or 5 years ago. I've had this in, I swear, like every college apartment I've ever had, and I still haven't read it. So the likelihood that I'm ever gonna get to this is fucking slim. I don't know what this is about. I'm assuming it's some sort of like thriller because that's what Dean Koontz writes, but I just It's like, do I need to keep it? I really do not. Okay, so the next two books I'm getting rid of, I like kind of feel bad about as well. I'm getting rid of Anti-Darken and Now I Rise by Kirsten White. I got about 50 pages into Anti-Darken. I don't necessarily agree that there needs to be more books where female characters are both knife wielding and dress wearing. I mean, I do think it's kind of annoying that we're getting so many characters that are like, I'm a fucking badass, like Lila Bard. But I really did not connect with Lada or Lada, I don't know how you say it, who's supposed to be sort of a gender bent Vlad the Impaler. I did not connect with her character at all. I felt that she was really grating and I didn't understand her motivations. It was a very surface level, her motivations. She wanted to like impress her dad and that was it. She had no sympathy or love for her brother, which was super weird to me. Like strange sibling relationships that have no reason to be strange. I don't know. I really did not connect with it. I know a lot of people enjoy this, but there was just nothing for me to like grab onto and really enjoy. I'm finding out that I'm not a huge historical fiction fan in YA. I do like historical fiction, but just not really YA historical fiction. Just did not do it for me. Your faves suck. I'll say it. And the last book I'm getting rid of is not really a big deal. It's Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I'm getting rid of this book because I got two of them. I got one for kind of like a Secret Santa gift and then one off of my Amazon wish list, so I don't need two of them. This book is fucking gorgeous. Haven't decided what I'm gonna do, if I'm going to like sell this, give it away, give it to a friend, but I'm getting rid of it because I don't need two copies. And that's the end of my unhaul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like this video, comment on this video. Let me know what books you have unhauled recently because I like to hear the tea on what books you think are overrated and that you want to get rid of. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and until next time.